Hello everyone, welcome back to Growing Up is Weird. My name's Fiona, and this is the first episode that we're doing in my new room, which is kind of fun. I'm trying to learn like my setup and what I want to do. If you guys watched my move-in vlog, you saw like the final outcome of all of it, and if you didn't, go back and watch it because it's very hectic and chaotic, but also very fun. And yeah, it's so muggy and like dark outside right now because there's a tropical storm coming. So it's very dark, which is making me very tired. So therefore, it is 6:32 p.m. and I made an espresso because I need it right now, truly. This past like 2 weeks of classes have been English has been kicking my ass, to say the least. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's in the air. Literally everyone right now is like has so much work, is so stressed out, like that's just all the vibes all around. So yeah, that's what I've been dealing with for the past 2 weeks. I slept through my alarm on Monday for my 8 a.m. class, and then I was late for that, and like that just like started my week off like very like sluggish because it's like my first class of the week and it's my 8 a.m. and I just like felt sluggish the rest of the week, and it's now almost Thursday and I'm like, where did the time go? And the next week is gonna be week 4, and then the week after that it's gonna be midterms, and I'm like, I literally just got here. Like, time moves so fast here and it's insane. So yeah, it has been a lot. And then I also have had like shoots and stuff the past like 2 weekends. So, or this past weekend was the first weekend that I didn't have a shoot for like the first 2 weeks that I've been here. And I even did have a shoot actually on Friday. So what am I saying? I literally have had a shoot every single weekend, which I love and I'm so grateful for, like that I get to do that and I get to like be on sets and all that. But it's definitely a lot. But it's like my favorite part about being here, so I would not trade it for anything in the world. Also, side note, can we talk about how sweaters are making a comeback this year? Let's talk about it because that's a crazy side note and none of this has anything to do with today's episode, but sweaters are coming back and I'm low-key here for it. Like, it's kind of annoying because I feel like trends like repeat themselves, which okay, that's dumb. They do. Trends literally repeat themselves, and I feel like I should just stop giving away my clothes because like once a trend like goes out of style, I usually like give my clothes away and then like get new clothes and then they just end up coming back in style. Like, this is something I literally had in my closet when I was in 8th grade. And now it's like back in stores and people are like buying it and stuff. So I feel like I should just stop giving my clothes away, put them in boxes, and wait for the trends to repeat themselves because they will. And yeah, but with all that random stuff being said, this week, I'm surprised I haven't done this episode before. It's actually boggles my mind. I don't know why I haven't because it's so like, I can speak on this for hours. In the beginning of Growing Up is Weird, which is, I started this podcast in April, which is crazy to think about. Like, I've literally been doing it every single week since April. Like, that's insane. But I did a little series called Love vs. Strangers, and I did a episode on situationships and then toxic relationships. I like had to like think back on it, but you guys really liked that series, so I'm actually gonna do a little spin on it, and it's still Love vs. Strangers, but it's like friends to strangers. Got creative there with that title, but I wanted to talk about friendship breakups because I don't know, like I feel like I thought I had talked about this before and I thought this was a topic before, but then I like went back and I was like, wait, like it's fully was never a topic that I talked about, which is very surprising because you'd think that would be like one of the first ones I talked about, because I have been through a lot of friendship breakups, many, especially in middle school and high school. I went through a lot, and let's just say, honestly, I think friendship breakups, especially when it's like with a best friend, are harder in a lot of ways than relationship breakups, because relationship breakups, like, they happen a lot, yes, but like it's almost, I don't want to say you can like expect it, because like sometimes you can't really expect like a relationship breakup, but like with friendship breakup, when you become friends with someone, you think you're going to be friends with them for the rest of your life. Like, you're like, oh, this is my best friend, like they're gonna stay my best friend forever. Like, I had a best friend that I was friends with for 7 years, and then when we stopped being friends, it was like, so it hurt so much more than I thought. And like, I still love her and I still care for her and I still wish her the best, but and she still texts me like every once in a while, but it definitely will always like sting a lot more than like maybe my first relationship breakup did, because it's like you connect on such like a, I don't even want to say deeper level, because I guess it depends, but for me personally, I feel like I care about my friends so much. So I feel like when you put all that energy into your friends and the people you love, and then you just literally have a friendship breakup, it hurts because you put so much time and energy into that relationship and it just disappeared into nothingness. And like, I feel like with friends, you like share a lot more than you do with like a regular relationship. Like, you share like a lot more like your real true thoughts, which like I guess you should with your like significant other, but like I guess at a young age, I'm saying, like when you're in high school and you're in a relationship, at least for me, I was more real with my friends than I was with my boyfriend, because I just felt like I didn't have to worry about them going anywhere. Friendship breakups, I feel like, are the hardest, especially when there's miscommunication that like happens and that's why you stop being friends. Like, for example, I went through a huge friend group breakup my senior year of high school, and it was over something that was very misunderstood and miscommunicated, and it was a misunderstanding situation. And I lost all of my friends because of it. And it's something that I definitely am still healing from. But I always am open and honest on this podcast, so here we are. But I think it's definitely something that I'm still healing from. Just because, like, I definitely wish I had handled things better in that situation on my end. And then I also wish that I didn't let the rumors that were being spread. Like, I should have, like, either not cared, one, two, stood up for myself more, or three, just handled the situation better in general. And that was probably my hardest friendship breakup, because that was a friend group that I cared so much about, and I had so much fun with them, and we had very great memories together, and I still care about them all so much. It just like ended. And however, I got my best friend out of that situation. So that's the positive side. Like, in general, when bad things happen, like, there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and there's always something positive that comes out of it. And for me, it was like losing my entire friend group gave me my best friend in the whole world, and the best friend I've ever had, which is Heather. Shout out. But yeah, so that, I guess, is the positive thing that came out of that. And then obviously in like high school in general, there was a lot of different like friend group drama and like all that. And like, I feel like the hardest thing for me going through friendship breakups was it always ended because of something that wasn't true, or a situation that could have been solved, or a misunderstanding that could have been communicated. And I feel like a lot of it also was just us being immature. Like, we're in high school, we're in middle school, we're immature. Like, that's just how it is. And it's really hard, but friendship breakups happen and you learn a lot from it. And I think also, like, I feel like a lot of people talk about, you know, relationship breakups and like what you learn from being in a relationship and then breaking up, and like what that relationship taught you. It's also very relevant for friendship breakups, because when I was like having issues with my friends and we ended up not being friends anymore, I learned that those weren't my true friends. Like, because they didn't believe me, and they believed someone who wasn't even close with them at all about something, and decided to not be friends with me over that. Like, that taught me that that's not what a true friend is. A true friend would believe you and stick by you through times that are hard, and they wouldn't just like leave you and say, okay, like, we're not friends with you anymore because you're depressed, which that has happened so many times when I was in high school. End of middle school, beginning of high school, that happened a lot. I went through a lot of friendship breakups and I wasn't in my right headspace and I was extremely depressed. So people would just be like, we don't want to deal with that, and would leave. So, yeah, which sucks. But like, it's fine now. Like, I truly am like not hating. Like, I don't care anymore. And I'm doing a lot better, obviously. So, very much over it. Been through a lot of therapy, got through that. But I think that those situations where people would leave me due to my mental health taught me like the most, because that really showed me when I had hardships, like nowadays with my friends now, like they're always there for me. They will like support me, they'll comfort me, and they won't leave me because I'm going through a hard time. And that was honestly the most healing thing for me when I met my friends that I have now, like across the board, like my home best friends, like Heather, and then all of my friends at SCAD. Like when I'm going through a hard time, or even recently when like I'm making decisions that are probably not the best for me in terms of like guys, which is like my most recent example that I can think of. It's like in the past, my friends would be like, my friends, quote unquote, would be like, oh, like if you hang out with them or if you hang out with him or that, do this and that, like I'm not going to be friends with you anymore, like giving ultimatums, when in reality your true friends should be like, we're going to be there for you either way, even if we don't support your decision. And that's something that took me so long to learn, because I didn't think that like existed. Like I didn't think that was like a thing. Like I thought it was like, oh, like you do what your friends like want you to do, or like you're not friends with them anymore, essentially. And that's crazy to think about and say out loud. Like that is just not normal. And I thought that was normal behavior because that's what I was programmed to think because of the old friend groups that I was in. And honestly, like now, I doubt like those people who I was friends with would do that nowadays. Again, we're probably just immature, but it still taught me something, even though I was immature, because at the time I struggled with it and it hurt me. So, yeah, that's probably the biggest thing for me that I have learned through friendship breakups, was what it means to like have a true friend and for them to actually support you no matter what, genuinely. Because at the end of the day, like your friends are your support system, and that's what they should be there for, not to give you ultimatums and make decisions for you. They should be able to give you advice, and you can do what you will with it, and they'll still love you either way. Another thing that I feel like is one of the hardest parts of a friendship breakup is watching your friends like grow as a person and you not being able to be a part of that, or like them making new memories and you're not able to be a part of that because you're not friends with them anymore. That I feel like is very difficult, because you were there for them for like every milestone ever, like however long you were friends, and then you just like aren't friends anymore and you have no idea what's going on in their lives, and you just see their stuff on like social media usually. At least for me, that's what I do. And like you want to talk to them about it, like you want to congratulate them, you want to like ask them how they're doing, but like you feel like you can't, which is like a weird feeling, because you have felt like that before. You're like, oh, I should reach out to them, like I should see how they're doing, I should like this and that, but you can't necessarily, because like you don't want to like kind of open that bag of worms again by like texting them. But like it's like an ex, like you don't want to like text them again because they're your ex for a reason, but you also still care about them. And I feel like that has been the biggest struggle for me. Like my senior year of high school, like I said, I went through that friendship breakup, and for me it was so hard to like see them getting into their dream schools, doing what they love, like going to all these places, and not being able to like share that with them and like tell them how happy and proud I am of them, like either way, because I just felt like I couldn't, because they all like believed something that wasn't true and like hated me for it, essentially. And that was really hard, like really difficult. And it's like it's difficult no matter what, like it's hard on all fronts. But oh my god, there's people in the window watching me. I just made eye contact with them. You guys, I'm so embarrassed. But I can't close my window shade because the lighting's good. Fuck, I don't know what to do. Okay, anyways, we're just gonna pretend like they're not there, I guess. But when I'm thinking about like this one friendship breakup in particular, that was the hardest thing for me, was like seeing them have all these amazing accomplishments that we had talked about together like for so long. And like especially in the beginning of a friendship breakup, when like little things are happening that you're like so used to like texting your friends and being like, oh my god guys, like this happened, like that happened, and like celebrating it together, like not being able to do that sucks, truly. And I just remember like because like senior year, there's a lot of like big things happening. Like people are getting into colleges, people are getting scholarships, people are like, just big things are happening for people. Not being able to be there with my friends that like had been my friends like all through high school and middle school, like was hard. And I think that's why it still affects me so much. Like seeing the people that you cared about for so long like grow and like go off to do like these amazing things that like you always have known they wanted to do and that they do well in, is like, it just like hurts more than like any like relationship breakup. Like I don't know how to describe it, and I'm sure that a lot of people can relate to that. Friendship breakups in general, but that feeling in particular, like seeing your friend that you cared about for so long and hear them talk about all their dreams, all their aspirations, like the kind of relationship they want, all this and all that, like, and then seeing it happen on social media, you're not a part of it, like stings. Like it just is literally like pouring like alcohol on a wound. Like that's literally how it feels. And that's how it felt all of my senior year. And again, like I did get an amazing best friend out of that situation, that awful, shitty situation. But like at the same time, like we were both dealing with that friendship breakup at the same time because she was also in that friend group with me. So like we were both kind of struggling with the same thing with the same people. So that's why we became so close. And I feel like Heather, I'm gonna like about Heather for a second. I feel like Heather truly taught me what a true friend is, and I love her so much. Like I'm so grateful for her because even my sister growing up did not like my friends. Just gonna say it. She hated my friends, all of them. And Heather is the first friend from high school at least, and like also like Manoff and Omar, of course. But she's the first like girlfriend that my sister has really liked, and she like even will say like Heather is like the greatest friend ever. Like she is the best. Like she just is always there. She's so patient, she's so fun. Like she is literally like everything you could ask for in a friend. And she taught me that friends are supposed to be there for one another and they're supposed to support each other no matter what, and not shit on each other for making decisions that like have nothing to do with the friendship. And I feel like that having that friendship like really taught me a lot. And that's why definitely like when I was going through that huge friend group breakup, it was a lot easier because I had a shoulder to lean on who got it because she was going through the same thing as well. So I'm very grateful for her, and everyone should have a Heather in their life. And that's a little Heather praise because we love her. And I wish she was like here to like talk about that. I feel like she has been through a lot of friendship breakups as well. Like me and her had a very similar friend group drama thing happen. And that's why inevitably she ended up like becoming my best friend, because she knew what I was feeling and how I was dealing with things and like what was going on my side of things. So she ended up, I don't want to say siding with me because that sounds like very stupid and petty and dumb, but like for lack of better words, yes, that's what happened. And again, she just really just taught me a lot about what a true friend is. And I think like coming to SCAD, I was able to, you know, realize like what a true friend is and what a not true friend is like immediately because of her. And she also, you know, always teaches me a ton about like standing up for myself and blah blah blah, this and that, because I can be a people pleaser. And that's another problem, is that in friendships, I can do what my friends want me to do because I don't want to upset them, because again, I'm so used to like me not doing what they want me to do and then them peacing out and dipping. So she really has also taught me that that's, again, not what a true friend is, and it's okay to make my own decisions. And that is kind of, I feel like, my biggest part of friendship breakups was that was how it ended, was because I decided to make a decision for myself, or I decided to, you know, take care of myself mentally in like the beginning of high school and stuff, and people didn't like that because they weren't happy with decisions that I made, and they dipped out, and I was like, what the fuck? Hello? But yeah, moral of the story is friendship breakups suck, and I feel like everyone goes through them at some point in their life. If you don't, you're extremely lucky, and I wish I was you. But I think they also teach you a lot. They teach you a lot about yourself. They teach you a lot about who you want in your life and who your people are. And I feel like once you find the person, almost like soulmate friend, it just makes all of it worth it. And I feel like it's very similar. Like, I feel like people don't treat friendships obviously the same as like romantic relationships, but I feel like when you do, when you really try and foster and like maintain a healthy friendship, like it can be the most powerful thing ever. Like, at the end of the day, all else fails, like I still have Heather. And that like is fine. Like, that's amazing for me. And I literally don't know what I would do without her. I love her so much. But, yeah, essentially, that's my 2 cents. It's starting to get dark out, and I hope you guys like my lights, by the way. I got a little purple pink moment happening. I feel like I need to put more posters on this wall. I was gonna put, like, a little collage in the corner, because I don't really like this situation. I feel like it's just, like, boring, but I don't know. I feel like I'm just gonna, like, search for stuff at like vintage markets throughout the year and then like slowly redo it, because I was gonna order stuff on Amazon, but I would rather just thrift cool stuff, and then I would rather just like thrift cool stuff and have it like accumulate over the year, because a lot of my stuff in my room right now is like from my freshman year dorm, and it is like literally my dorm but elevated. That's what everyone says when they come in. They're like, it's literally your freshman year dorm elevated. And I'm like, word. Yeah. But that is very besides the point. I hope you guys like this episode. I can't believe I haven't done a friendship breakup episode before. Like, hello? And my brain is fried because I have been doing so much work, and I have been so busy. Like, literally there's not enough time in a day, genuinely. But yeah, so that's why my brain is kind of fried, and if I sound sluggish and slow, that's why. But yeah, but I hope you guys like this week's episode, and if you're not already, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube version, and also follow on Spotify and Instagram at Growing Up as Weird Podcast. And let me know what you guys want to hear next. I love recommendations. There is a, like, how did you feel about this episode, like, Q&A in the show notes in Spotify. So if you have any recommendations, or you want me to talk about anything in particular, I would love to do that. And also in the comment section on YouTube. So let me know what you guys want to hear, because I'm always open to suggestions. And I've done a few episodes now that were suggestions, so I love doing it. But thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!